All right. Hello, hello, hello. Look, as you know, it's live because what? As soon as I'm about to say hello, the phone starts jangling. It's Holly Holiday, and I am here as the president of Sisters Lead, Sisters Vote, and the co-convener of Win with Black Women. And you know what time it is. It's time for another candidate spotlight. And if you have ever met me, like seriously ever met me, then you know that I have a passion for Black women running for local office and an even deeper passion for Black women in the state legislature. Because let me tell y'all something, running for the state legislature is one of the hardest jobs you will ever do. And serving is even harder, especially if you are serving from a state like Missouri and you happen to be running as a Democrat. You talking about the Lord's work now. So we want to make sure that you know who some of these hardworking women are. This is why I am such a big supporter of organizations like Nobel Women, because they hold it down for Black women state legislatures. In case you were not aware, one of the reasons that I love working with state legislature is one, because so much of the work that they do is what really touches and concerns your life. They oversee and monitor federal funds coming into the state, as an example. They make decisions about your education systems, especially your public education systems. And so those of you who are like, man, I'm trying to do something about education. When we talking about Kamala Harris, we don't never talk about education that much. You know why? Because actually the state legislature has way more influence over your educational product than the president of the United States. So that's who we need to be talking about. You want to know whether or not your state has accepted Medicare expansion or not? Hello, that's going to happen with state legislatures. So these are some important folks who are managing an amazing amount of resources. You want to know why the suburbs are getting more than the cities, or vice versa, or maybe you're looking for additional capacity and programs, not to mention those of you who are interested in attending state-funded institutions, like, for instance, I don't know, Mizzou. You want to know who controls that money? Well, that is going to be your state legislature. And today, I guess y'all figured it out, another woman running from the great state of Missouri. Yes, there are Black people in Missouri. Yes, there are Black people outside of St. Louis in Missouri. And this is another one. So I've been talking about it. It's time for me to just bring her on up. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome to the candidate spotlight Representative Jamie Johnson, who is the state legislature in the state of Missouri, District 12. Welcome, Jamie.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
We are
especially so since, that hometown connection.
Yes. Listen, and I have been tracking you since you ran before you were elected. And I'm so excited that you have taken on the daunting task of running again, to go back to the legislature, to continue the fight. And so let's get started with some of these questions. So you've run before. Let's move to question one. You're running again, and the folks want to know, why are you running?
Yes, absolutely. I actually will tell the story about why I ran in 2022. And the very, very short version of that story is because I didn't like the guy who was the Republican nominee for this seat. And, as Black women, we always have to be asked, they say women have to be asked 7 times. Black women have to be asked 10 times at least before we even consider probably running for office. So this gentleman had some run-ins with a number of people in our community that made national news. And when it was announced that he was running for this seat, for this state representative seat of District 12, I said, no, I do not want him to be my state representative. And I had been asked at least 6 or 7 times to run for office and to run for state representative. And when we found out that he was the person that was running on the Republican ticket, I said, okay, I'm going to do it. I want to make sure that we have great representation um, for this district. This district took great care of me in 2020 when or 2005 when my family arrived here from Hurricane Katrina from New Orleans. And so, it was just a way for me to give back. It was a way for me to make sure that the representation of this district reflected the care and concern and humanity and diversity of our district. So that's why I ran in 2022, and that's why I'm running now.
I love that you talk about representation, not just in terms of demographics, which of course is a thing,
Yes.
but about the care and concern,
Hmm.
about the way that neighbors care about each other, about the way that we are a community, and
Absolutely.
that community is made up of all kinds of different people. And a lot of time, and I say it all the time, when we talk about representation mattering, we're really talking about that. And unfortunately, because of the division that happens in this country, I think it sometimes gets misinterpreted, or should I say, solely interpreted as a demographic statement. But it really means that we want people who represent our interests and our concerns. And I love the framing of care.
Yes.
Okay, this is amazing. I just want to let folks know that yes, we are live. We have folks watching. The hearts are happening. The thumbs up are happening. If you have comments, please feel free to post them. We will try to respond. If you have questions for Jamie, we might be able to sneak them in. We already have someone, Amani Johnson, is saying brave, smart, and compassionate. Hashtag win with Black women. We love that, Imani. She's watching us from our YouTube channel. Go ahead and let other folks on know that we're live. And if we finish the live, you can feel free to share the stream because it's going to be amazing anytime you watch it. That's what's
Mhm.
cool. So listen, we've talked about what prompted you to run. Um, and I love the story when I heard it in 2020, and I love it even more now.
Mhm.
But also, what change are you looking to make? So let's talk about question number two. And this really
Yeah.
gets into the issues. And when we think about issues, what issue are you interested in most impacting? And what's standing in your way of making it happen?
Man, that is a big question. But I'm happy to answer it because, Missouri is a red state. I know you know this, Holly, but for those of you out there, Missouri is a red state. And there are about 111 Republicans to 52 Democrats in our House legislature. We have the opportunity this year to break that supermajority in the House and remove their veto proof majority, which is exciting, and we know we're going to do it. We've been flipping seats year over year. We've gotten even some National Democratic Committee um, highlights, and people are paying attention to what's happening in Missouri. We have abortion on the ballot this year, so we are excited to be the first state in this country to overturn an active ban on abortion. So that is a huge issue. But what's my most important issue going into the legislative session in January will be to highlight and untangle the knot of non end user friendly state departments. We've been making headlines recently about a botched IT rollout that has our child care system in it was already in crisis mode, and now it's in a fiasco. The departments that run the payments for that did an IT rollout, so a new software rollout, and we've been behind in paying our child care facilities the subsidy payments from December of 2023. So we've got that going on. There was recent news that we violated federal regulations in how long it takes us to respond to our SNAP applicants. There was recent news that with the recertification program for Medicaid being so not user friendly, that we are kicking kids off Medicaid because the parents aren't able to navigate that system. I just heard from a constituent a couple of days ago that said that she has 7 years of college education. This is the first time in her life that she's been unemployed, and she is having trouble navigating the online systems of our State Department's unemployment application. That is not okay. We are making life harder for people who are seeking help. And why? Um, it's just all of these systems that are tangled up in trying to frustrate people and make them give up and maybe even make desperate decisions to care for their families. And that is not okay. So, my most important priority in going back to the legislature in January of 2025 is to jump down that rabbit hole and figure out how deep this goes and why this is happening, and help those departments create systems that help aid people and not frustrate them.
Hmm. I
And
love this. And
so let me, the
this
second
is,
part of that question of what's standing in my way.
yeah, what's standing in the
Uh,
way?
Currently, the GOP supermajority, because they are focused on culture wars. They are focused on non-existent crime statistics of illegal aliens when the data actually says that it not I want nobody is illegal on stolen land, by the way. um the data actually says that immigrants are more susceptible to crime than they are perpetrators of crime. And
Yeah.
so, like, that is the actual data on the ground. And when we're talking about crime, it doesn't matter who commits it. We want to address it all to make our communities safer. So, there is no one focus on crime. What we need to be focused is on crime prevention efforts. And one of the ways to ensure that we can prevent crime is to not put families in desperate situations when they need help. So, what's standing in my way right now is a GOP supermajority that is not focused on people. They are
Yeah.
focused on culture wars. They are focused on things that only affect a few when we could help a lot of people.
I love this, and I love the common sense nature of it. And let me just say, y'all, this is right on brand for Representative Johnson. Right on brand, because she has diagnosed the heart of the issue. And by the way, another thing is that people think the only way that state legislators, let me stop being lazy with my English, state legislators can impact change is through legislation. And of course, that's a big part of it. But state legislators can call these agencies that they supervise to the table. They can have meetings and hearings, and they can pull in constituents. They can work as case managers. They have a lot of other kinds of authority. And I love the fact that Representative Johnson is being expansive in the way she's seeking to solve problems, by including all of them. You are amazing. I love this absolutely for Missourians especially. And you're right. Like I also love the framing, because I tell people all the time, I am really interested in making a huge national statement with the election of Kamala Harris as a smackdown. Yeah,
Absolutely.
because let's face it, it would be fun. But also because I want Republicans not to go away, but to be better. I want to go and reach a point where Democrats, Republicans, and any other independents and others, where we are moving towards a place where we can have real dialogue around real problems that real people have. And right now we are stuck, like you said, especially in the Republican dominated situations, where we're just talking about stuff that's not even freaking real, or affects such a small number of people that even if we were to fix it, it
Mhm.
doesn't actually solve the problems that people are having. So, all of
Oh,
that you
I
said,
love
genius.
that. I People often ask me if I would prefer a Democratic supermajority in the state of Missouri, and I often say no. That is not what we need. We need balance. We need enough Republicans that they have to convince a few Democrats to vote with them to pass something. We need enough Democrats that they have to convince a few Republicans to vote with them to pass something. It should not be easy, and it should, if we have that type of balance, it really brings down the rhetoric and brings down the foolishness that people are committing on a daily basis in some of these red states. And to be
Uh,
honest with you, Some of these blue states, it's a spectrum, right? So,
It's a spectrum.
so it's a spectrum. There's extremes on both sides. But at the same time, if you have to convince people on the other side out to vote with you in order to pass something, you have to tone down the foolishness and you have to focus on the people in the middle. So yeah.
Absolutely, 100%. And you have to find common interest. And so I love this for both of us. And let me tell you something. I am so glad that you are championing it. And, and it just brings the point. So, I am a proud Kansas Citian. So there's no question about my loyalty and passion. But, let's find out about yours. Question number 3.
Mhm.
I'm interested in, assuming I have never been to Kansas City or your district, more importantly. Tell me something that makes you proud or excited about what's going on in your district.
Oh man. I don't even know where to begin. First thing is my district is absolutely beautiful. So I am just on the edge of the city between like the city and the start of the suburbs, right? So it is just absolutely gorgeous. The southern boundary of my district is the river, is the Missouri River. And so we have so many pocket parks and nature sanctuaries, and it's just, especially this time of year when the leaves turn. So I'm originally from New Orleans. So when I got to Kansas City and I experienced my first fall, I was like, oh my God, this is gorgeous. What is this? Because in New Orleans, it's always hot. The leaves don't turn, they don't fall off the trees. None of that happens. It doesn't snow. It snows like once every 20 years, and it's a sheet of ice and nobody can go anywhere. But this district is absolutely beautiful. Just trees and um, fall colors this time of year and beautiful weather. And I've got these cute little main streets that run through the district. And and actually I want to send a shout out to the Park Hill South women's golf team who just qualified for the state championship this year. So there is so many things in this district that make me excited and make me proud to be the representative from District 12. I don't even know where to begin.
I love that. And I love that you talk about the beauty. And I do. I miss Kansas City, especially in the fall, because Kansas City and Missouri in general is got so many beautiful landscapes. And it is just a collection with 2 rivers running through it and lakes all over, a collection of green and water and trees. And oh, I just got homesick. Thank you so
Well,
much.
you can always come visit.
I
District 12
gotta do
welcomes
it.
you
I
any
gotta
time
do
of
it.
the
I
year.
gotta get back more often for sure. Well, listen, ladies, gents, and all those on the interwebs, thank you for being a part of another Win with Black Women Candidate Spotlight. It has been a pleasure reintroducing you to Representative Jamie Johnson. You can find Jamie Johnson online in all of these places. Let's put the thing up. Yeah, jamie4mo.com. Make sure you check out the website. You can do all the things that you know you're supposed to do when you have a candidate, Jamie4mo. You can donate, you can volunteer, you can get in contact, you can do all the things, and we expect you to do at least one of the things, if not more. Jamie, this has been amazing. Give me a chance to just really appreciate and thank you for doing this. I wish you the best in your race. I know it's going to
Thank
be
you.
amazing. I can't imagine that anyone out there has the passion, the heart, the experience, the expertise, the drive to do it for District 12 better than you. So let's get to the races. We got 19 more days, sis, and we'll be
19
there.
days. I am running on caffeine and donuts right now.
Listen, somebody need to give me a donut. I'm
No
missing the
sleep,
donut part.
caffeine. It's like what did Lady Gaga said? Wake up, club,
Wake up.
next
Let's do
club,
it.
next event, next thing. Let's go. We got 19 days. Let's do it.
Yes, yes, yes. All right. Well, this has been amazing. And I know that this is just the beginning. We have more candidate spotlights coming up. Up next, let's see, today's the 17th. We got one tomorrow. Tony Kreiner, she's a candidate for Ward 7 State District Board of Education in Washington, D.C. We will be on live with her at 1 p.m. So don't miss that. You know, we love to talk about education here as we've done today. We're going to continue talking about education with one of our state school board members tomorrow. Jamie, it's been so much fun. Thank you for joining. And I think we're out till tomorrow. See you then.